shocking part for Westerners was hearing his actual mistranslation into English, because he's not a native speaker, and even though his English is acceptably good, it's not fluent. So the saying actually is "eat my tongue," and this is an old expression, and often in the context of a grandparent or some sort of, sort of adult figure other than the mother or father, giving food to a youngster, and then when the food is run out, they say, "I have nothing left to give you, so now you can eat my tongue." And then they stick, and the sticking out of the tongue anyway is a sign of respect in Tibet. So if you see like a very important lama walking down the road, you would stick out your tongue, which is very bizarre for us, because we see that as an insult, right? In our culture, it's like a petty insult, less intense than a middle finger, but like, people take offense to it. So that's actually, what happened. And then it got twisted by the Chinese government, who will use any opportunity they can to try to drag his name through the mud and create divisiveness. Not to mention a lot of Westerners who are just hyper ready to jump down anyone's throat and prove that anyone who appears to be a saint or an enlightened person is actually, a devil in disguise, and whose own churches are riddled with pedophiles and sexual, abusers.
So
Dalai Lama has been a celibate monk for 72 or 3 years, and has never even once been accused of any sort of sexual impropriety. So this was a smear campaign that has actually backfired in a lot of ways.
So the discussion I was having with my one friend who is a person of color, and he was under the impression that this particular Dalai Lama was like a plant of the Chinese government.
Sure. So he believes the Chinese government propaganda to that effect.
Right. So just...
which has largely come through the Shugden cult, which is supposedly a Tibetan cult, with a leader who's very secretive and tells his students not to study with any other teachers, which is not the normal Tibetan tradition. And they've been funded by the Chinese government for a long time to try to create anti-Dalai Lama, a movement. And they call him a fake Dalai Lama. They would, anytime he had teachings publicly, they would pay Westerners to go and protest and claim that this Dalai Lama was a fake Dalai Lama that was installed through political machinations and a murder that happened, by the regent before the Dalai Lama was installed. So it's the typical thing of the Chinese government using, it's pretty shitty propaganda. If you look at the materials from the Shugden cult, they're ridiculous. But they make a big stink. People don't like to think critically about things or look into things, so they just sort of jump on the bandwagon.
Sure.
But I guaranteed your friend is being fed information through whatever means by the Chinese government.
Okay. Well, it's more than I knew, and I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.